Welcome to another edition of Solving JFK's Mailbag, where I basically go over emails that have come in and address them. So let's get to it. The one we're going to do tonight on YouTube is about the General Walker bullet ballistics. So it's a pretty simple question with more of a detailed answer. The question is this. I'm interested in the correlation between the General Walker and the JFK shootings. Were the ballistic reports matching the same or similar rifle and bullets? That's from Rick B. Okay, so he wants to know, is it the same bullet that shot JFK that shot General Walker according to the official story? We covered this in depth in episode 45, and that episode is dedicated to the General Walker shooting. So let's just quickly recap the facts that we know. There were two police officers who saw General Walker's bullet, the one that was in the wall, and said that it was an unknown caliber steel jacket. That's what the police officer said. That's also what was written in the New York Times, both Dallas newspapers, and the Associated Press, that it was an unknown caliber steel jacket. After the assassination, so the Walker shooting is in April. After the assassination on November 23rd is the first time Oswald is ever mentioned in any way as potentially being tied to the Walker shooting. And oh, by the way, that's Michael Paine speaking to the Houston Post on November 23rd. That's the first time Oswald's ever tied to Walker. So then, 8 days after the assassination, the FBI requested the bullet from the Dallas Police Department for the first time. And so, Michael Paine said this. There's the report in this German newspaper. It's a whole thing. Go back and listen to episode 45. But basically, the FBI got hip to, hey, is Oswald somehow involved in the Walker shooting? And 8 days after the assassination, the FBI requested the bullet from the Dallas police for the first time. And it's at that point when it's deemed to be a copper jacketed bullet, which would potentially match the Carcano bullets. So, people who believe the official story, they just say, well, it's obvious what happened here. People say that, newspaper reporters just echoed what the police officer said, and the police must have been wrong because look, the FBI has this bullet that's a copper jacketed bullet, so that must be it. But the problem with that is that, again, it's not what the police officer said. Also, both FBI firearm expert Frazier and another expert that they brought in, Joseph Nicol, were both unable to conclusively link the rifle and the bullet. The rifle being the Carcano rifle and the bullet. The lead alloy in the Walker bullet was found to be different than the lead alloy in the Carcano bullets. Pretty big deal. And Walker himself said that the FBI's bullet in evidence was not the same as the one that hit his wall. So there's a lot of reasons to believe that it's not the same bullet. Basically, it's just a question of do you believe the FBI or not, right? Because to believe that the bullet was switched out, obviously there would have to be something nefarious there. I mean, that wouldn't just happen. So that's, quite an allegation to make, but looking at the case as a whole, it's really not that crazy. When it comes to Walker, I do have to say that maybe the more interesting thing, certainly that I've come across in the last year or so on Walker, is this John T. Martin film. I can't stop talking about it. It's the craziest thing I've seen. And here's what it is. It's this kid, John T. Martin. He's 17 or 18 years old. He just graduated high school in Minnesota. And he's filming General Walker's house after the shooting. How do we know it's after the shooting in General Walker's house? Because he shows the mailbox. It says General Walker. And then he shows the inside of the house and you can see the bullet hole. Okay. And then what's the next thing on that film? It's a fountain at a park in New Orleans. And then it's Lee Harvey Oswald in a fight on the street of New Orleans. So the question is, how could a person have General Walker's house and the General Walker shooting on film in April, and then have Oswald in August, okay, on the same film, same roll of film? They were never publicly tied together until after the assassination. And, everybody that I raise this issue to either says, they say one of two things. Well, this is a smoking gun that proves that, Walker was involved somehow, and he probably sent this kid John T. Martin to go see Guy Bannister or somebody in New Orleans, and then that's how the Oswald scuffle ended up being on that film. So that's theory one. Theory two is that this is just all a big fraud. It's all a big fake. But the problem with that argument is that this film is at the Texas School Book Depository Museum. That's the source of it. And the guy that dropped it off said, "Don't ever call me again." I don't know that there has been forensics done on the film, but I don't know that what the tech was like back then to have totally fabricated all this. So I think we have to believe that the film is legit until proven otherwise, and it's really something. So if you have not looked into this John T. Martin film, definitely check it out. And of course, give a shout out to Rob and Joe from the Lone Gunman podcast. They're the guys that really got me onto this, and they do some good work. So please do go check them out. So that's it when it comes to General Walker, and hopefully I answered that question. The answer is yeah. I mean, it's disputed, right? It's disputed. Do you believe that? Is it reasonable to believe that all of a sudden the description of the bullet is different when the FBI has it? I don't know. Maybe that's that again, like that. What do you call it? That inflection point. I'm sorry, not inflection point. That inference is like a lot of other inferences in the case, but that's the split point. Okay, so you're a reasonable person going, wow, why do so many other reasonable people think different things? Well, they're making a different conclusion for that inference. We are going to go over to Patreon for the remainder of the mailbag questions, and you can join us over there. We do two mailbags for Patreon each month. We do a live show, also have some other unique content and opportunities over on the Patreon. So we do appreciate you supporting the show and checking it out, and we'll see you soon.